Hello everyone, welcome to my crochet string of pearls pattern / tutorial. Feel free to use YouTube's built-in settings to adjust the speed of this video if it is too fast or too slow. First and foremost, this is a visual representation of a crochet pattern. You must already know how to do those crochet stitches. Feel free to pause the video to look at this materials list. The written pattern is in the description box, but if you could let this video play in the background, that would be super awesome of you. Starting with your 3.5mm hook, begin with a slip knot. You will pick a random number between 6 and 12 stitches and chain that many chains. In the second chain from the hook, you're going to create a bobble stitch. For this pattern, a bobble stitch is going to be consisting of 4 double crochets that are joined together. Instead of completing the double crochet, you're going to wait to do that last yarn over pull through until you have 4 double crochets, 5 loops altogether on your hook. After the bobble stitch, you're going to chain 1 and then slip stitch into the next chain from your bobble stitch. Repeat this process of chaining a random number of chains between 6 and 12, doing a bobble stitch, slip stitching into the next chain, until you have the desired length of your vine. When you finish that last slip stitch after the last purl, then you're going to cut your end and weave in that end into the last purl that you made. Now that you've made your first vine, you're going to continue this process of making the vines until you have the amount that you would like for your plant. I make 8 because I do 4 of the hanging straps and I want 2 vines to be in between each strap. If you want your plant to be more realistic, then avoid making the vines the exact same length. Now we are going to make the soil. We're going to use our 3.75mm hook and we're going to make a magic ring. Round 1 is going to be 6 single crochet into the magic ring. Round 2 is going to be 6 increases so that we have 12 at the end of this round. For round 3, we're going to do a single crochet in the first stitch of the previous round, and in the second stitch of the previous round, we're going to be doing an increase. So we're going to repeat that single crochet increase all the way around until you have 18. Round 4 is a single crochet in the first space, a single crochet in the second space, and an increase in the third space. And you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around until you have 24 stitches. Round 5 is a single crochet in the first space, a single crochet in the second space, a single crochet in the third space, and an increase in the fourth space. Repeat this pattern all the way around until you have 30 stitches. Round 6 and the last round for the soil is going to be a single crochet in the first 4 spaces and an increase in this 5th space. By the end of this round, you're going to have 36 stitches. Go ahead and slip stitch into the first stitch of round 6 and finish off by snipping your yarn and weaving in both of the ends to your soil. Go between the second and third rounds and plant your vines randomly in the soil. In order to avoid a bunch of sewing, I just tie a big knot with all of my ends because I know that this is going to be hidden inside of the crocheted pot anyway. You can follow the same steps as the soil for the bottom of the pot for rows 1 through 6. Do not cut the yarn after you finish row 6 though, and do not slip stitch into the beginning of round 6. You can, however, go ahead and weave in the tail to your magic circle. For round 7 of the pot, we're going to be working in the back loop only, and we're going to be single crocheting around. This will help your pot be more square shaped instead of curving on the bottom. For rounds 8 through 12, we're going to be building up the walls of the pot, and we're just going to be single crocheting around. For round 13, we are going to be doing a single crochet all around, but we are going to be going through both the pot and the soil to connect them. To keep it no-sew, we're going to go first through both loops of the pot and then through both loops of the stitch on the soil. I prefer not to start connecting them at the part where the soil rows were ending, because that way it just looks a little bit more seamless. As you approach the end of this round, make sure all of your vines ends are inside of the pot, and you can go ahead and stuff the pot before you get it completely closed. Make sure that whenever you're stuffing, you're not putting too much in there, because then that's going to cause the soil to want to lift up and the end and the bottom of the pot not to lay flat. To finish up the pot, round 14 is going to be a single crochet around. If you're just wanting your plant to be able to sit on a shelf or a desk or something like that, you can go ahead and just slip stitch into the first single crochet of round 14, finish off, weave in your end, and you're completely done with your plant. If you want to be able to hang your plant, then after you do that slip stitch, you're going to want to chain between 50 to 60 is what I find works best for most cars and houses. When you're done chaining, you can cut that yarn and pull it through. Go back to the base of the tie and you're going to count over 9 stitches. Make a slip knot with your yarn and pull that slip knot through, and you can start joining it with another length of chain that is the same amount of chains as the previous tie that you made. Do this process of counting over 9 stitches and making the tie 2 more times until you have 4 ties all together. I like for the excess string of my ties to be all the same length, so I'm going to trim them to the same length. And in order to keep them from fraying, I like to melt the ends of the tie with a lighter, but please only do this if you are an adult and not going to burn your whole plant down. You're going to need to weave in the 3 ends at the base of the ties that you made. I didn't leave a lot of string at the end of my chains this time, so I'm going to just do a simple little knot on mine. Congratulations! You now have a string of pearls plant that you can never forget to water. If you liked this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more tutorials like this. If you have any suggestions for improvements, leave them in the comment section below. As always, if you have questions, please let me know in the comment section and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Lastly, I just want to thank you guys so much for the support on this channel while I was on maternity leave. I appreciate you all so much.